Yesterday, last class we discussed about under the plant kingdom, meaning of plantain, animalia, and different characteristics of plantain and animalia we have discussed. So, plantain, animalia, characters, and also under that some river goats, bryophytes, and chlorophyceae, rhodophyceae, phaeophyceae, all these things will explain. So, Pteridophyceae, gymnosperms also comes under that plant kingdom. Today, let us study about the pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are ಬೀಜವಿಲ್ಲದ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಬೀಜವಿಲ್ಲದ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ pteridophytes ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋದು. What are the special characteristics of pteridophytes? The pteridophytes commonly they are first terrestrial plants ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ terrestrial plants ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕಾಡುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ನೆರಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನೀರಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಇದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಟೆರೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಬೈಂಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಇದನ್ನು. Pteridophytes are commonly called as a soil binders. ಏನು soil binders ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ soil binders. Soil binders ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಬುಕ್ಕು ಆ ಥರ ಬೈಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಪರ್ಸ್ ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹರಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಬೈಂಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋದು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಮನ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as a soil binders. It is one more name, it is just like ornamental plants. Ornamental plants. Ornamental plants. Why? Because the ornamental plants, they are looks like a ornaments. That's why they are commonly called as a ornamentals or ornamental plants. In these details, it will be related to the anatomical characters. We will study under the 6th chapter. But now today, some general characteristics of pteridophytes and examples of pteridophytes we discuss today. First one is a terrestrial plants, and also it is utilized in medicinal. Say one of the almost pteridophytes commonly medicinal plants, commonly used in the medicines. So pteridophytes are first one soil binders, medicinal plants, ornamental plants. It is a terrestrial plant. Commonly they are habitat. Commonly they are lived in the forest and also more water concentrated bodies like soil, like a more water concentrated soil. It have the growth commonly. Hot condition will not grow properly, so it is the good habitat is soil with water, moist soil. It is forest and more tree plants like there they can live, they can grow. And commonly that is the pteridophytes having a vascular tissue, it is xylem and phloem. Xylem and also phloem. I think already we studied the meaning of xylem and also the meaning of phloem. The xylem is a water conducting tissue. Phloem is food conducting tissue. Already we studied in your lower classes. Especially in pteridophytes, well developed xylem, that is a vascular tissue. These two will be considered vascular tissue. They are in pteridophytes. Xylem, water water conducting tissue, phloem is a food conducting tissue. And also these bryophytes commonly sexual and also asexual reproduction take place with the germination. The pteridophytes mainly the main plant body saprophyte which is differential into the true root, stem and leaves. True root, stem and leaves just like our herb. Root, stem as well as the leaves. It will be special character for this pteridophyte. And also this pteridophyte leaves or some of the pteridophytes differentiating vascular tissue. The leaves in a pteridophyte are small microphytes. As called as a Silanginella, 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 or large macrophytes, or we may call it as a formis. So, in this pteridophytes, commonly four general characters: asexual and sexual reproduction. Example is that Silanginella and also Eukistema. These will be examples for this. And also the free living mostly photosynthetic thyroid gametophytes called it as a prothallus. This is the prothallus. Is the important organ in this pteridophytes. There is a free-living, mostly photosynthetic thyroid gametophyte. It is a free-living and also photosynthetic thyroid gametophyte is called as a prothallus. It will be helpful for the gametophytic and it should be helpful for the reproduction as well as this gametophyte required cool and damp shady places because of the specific restricted requirement for and also need for the water for fertilization. It is a more water. The xylem is responsible for this water conducting tissue. It needs more water. So even though phloem also it contains more water. So xylem is responsible for this containing of water. So here commonly the last class what we have studied under the Archegonia, Antheridia and also there is 6 organs, female 6 organs, Antheridia, Archegonia female 6 organs, they are required for reproduction. With help of water it will be free-living 6 organs like Antheridia, Archegonium and also Antheridia responsible for the reproduction. And also here the important two homospores and heterospores in different plants under the pteridophytes. Homospores are called in a single size, single shape spores. They are commonly called as homospores. Like Salaginella, generally the Salaginella, Salvinia which produce two kinds of spores. That is macro, large and micro, small spores. They are known as a heterogeneous. See, homospores is same size. Heterosporangia is a different it we commonly call it as heterospores. Homosporous and heterospores. Sporus and heterospores. The meaning of homosporus and the meaning of heterosporus. Here, some of the plants they have general like Salaginella and Salvinia which produces two kinds of spores. Macrospores and microspores are known as heterospores. Some of the animal plants, majority of pteridophytes are spores similar kinds, which are the plants called the homospore spore. That is in some plants they are same, it is single, and smaller spores. Only particular shape, size, there is no differentiation. What is homospores? Here, homospores is same size. Heterospores are different size. There is a large and different size. And also, the habitat of that is a constitutional to the serial considered for important for step in evolution. Commonly, the evolution is a characterized changes from their generation to generation. That is the evolution. Evolution characters that seed happen. And also pteridophytes are further classified into classes. Silopsoda, that is commonly called as Silotum. Lycopsida, commonly called as Selaginella. And Spinopsida, commonly called Equisteum. And Pteropsida, Doropteris or Pteris. All these are the classifications under the pteridophytes. I think what are the explanation? I will give that as I am provide all these things. Now I will clearly give to few points under the pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are commonly seedless plants. They have a different characteristic features of reproduction. They are ornamental plants and also evolutionary characters of special characters under pteridophytes, and they are commonly called as soil binders. Soil binders. It is used in a medicinal purpose. It is commonly habitat lived in damp places, and also they are lived in a hilly regions, more water content place, because the reproduction are commonly with free spores. They are called as two female six spores and six spores. That is Archegonia, Anthidea. They are responsible for reproduction, sexual reproduction. They are pre-living with water and also soil air, and they are commonly called as the terrestrial plants because they are lived in a forest. And some the leaf appendage is called sporophytes. The example Selaginella, and also homosporous in character, heterosporous in character. Homosporous character is nothing but the two spores are same size, smaller in size. Example Selaginella. And heterospores are commonly called as two spores. They are produced two kinds of spores. One is macro large and one is micro small spores. They are called as a heterospores. The megaspores or microspores germinates and give rise to female and male gametophytes. Those gametophytes are responsible for the parental plants and their give offspring. The development of zygote into the young embryo take place within the female gametophyte. It is commonly or it is called as the event is procured or it commonly called as the seed head. It is one of the steps in evolution. Commonly in this pteridophytes, majorly it has a classified into four classes: Silopsida, Leucopsida, Psilopsida and Chiropsida. Psilopsida. That four it will be studied in the next unit. Okay. Next we will go to the pteridophytes. After that, gymnosperms. 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 Here, gymnosperms commonly called as naked seeds. Naked seeds. N-A-K-E-D, naked seeds. Naked seed plants. Naked seed plants. What is this naked seed plants? It is commonly called as naked seed plant or sperm seed. The plants which are ovules are not enclosed by any ovary wall. Its ovary is covered by the seed, but here there is no any ovary wall in these gymnosperms. That's why they commonly called as gymnosperms or naked seed plants. Here, the ovules are not enclosed by any ovary wall and remain exposed both before and after fertilization. The seeds are developed post fertilization, not covered, that is commonly called as a naked. Gymnosperms include the medium sized trees and also tall trees, even shrubs also. Commonly it is lived in terrestrial as well as in case of damp places. But almost all the gymnosperms are fibrous root system. Fibrous root system. Example: Pinus, Mycorrhiza, and Cycos. I think you know Cycos tree and Pinus tree. They are example for the gymnosperms. There is no flowers. There is no flowers in that gymnosperms. Directly it will be produce the same seed without coat, seed coat. That's we commonly called as a naked seed plants. So here in the mycorrhiza, some of other animals and other plants, the roots called as a coralloid roots. They are associated with N2 fixation. Coralloid. Coralloid roots. These coralloid roots commonly supporting for the nitrogen N2, nitrogen fixation. Coralloid root. I think it's a very they will ask in your examination. Coralloid roots. What is this meaning of coralloid? There is N2 fixation. Already I studied. I will explain that associated with cyanobacteria. So the coralloid roots are present in this gymnosperms. It is helpful for the N2 fixation. And also the leaves are well developed without stem or pinnately compound leaves. It is a thick sunscreen stomata also therefore reduce the water in the plants. It capacity to more water conducting, it means storage. So the plants are commonly without water also they can live so many days. There is a water loss, and also it is leaves are like a thick, more chlorophyll pigment. It helps to protect the water, reduce water loss and water loss under the transportation. It means whatever the process like a transportation, the much water will be evaporated with the plants already know in your respiration or the photosynthesis or the absorption of food materials in the common plants, that will be excess water will be going evaporated. In this case, in the gymnosperm's case, commonly the water will not because there is thick and sun skin stomata also helps to reduce water loss. But stomata, sun skin stomata, sun skin stomata is responsible for helpful for reducing water loss. And also gymnosperms commonly heterosporous in character. Two different spores are produced. That is commonly called as heterosporous. In heterosporous condition, there diploid microspores, megaspores are present. The two kinds of spores are reduced within the sporangia that are born on spirals which are arranged spirally along the axis from legs are compact strobili or cones are commonly called as cones. So the cones are also responsible for water loss very less because of the cones are stabilized and also bearing microspires and microsporangia are called as a microsporangiate or male stabili. The male stabili, the combination of the stabili which bearing microsporae and also microprofiles and also microsporangia. This words will be remember microsporophiles. See, this is microsporophiles. This microsporophiles and also microsporangia. Microsporangia. All these two, microphiles, microsporangia, these two are called as a male stabili. This is the special character under these gymnosperms. The stabili is a cone or stabili. The stabili bearing a microsporophiles and also microsporangia are called a microsporangiate. Microsporangiate. The combination of microphiles and also microsporangia. This is the special characteristic of this gymnosperms. That coralline roots, you remember coralline roots, that is helpful for the nitrogen fixation in the environment, and also the leaves, sunken stomata, that is sunken means like bulged stomata. That stomata is responsible for avoiding of water waste evaporation. It protects the water. That character will be remembered. And also this reduces gametophyte is called as a pollen grain. The development of pollen grains take place within the microsporangia. And also the cones bearing megasporophiles with ovals or megasporangia are called as a macrosporangiate. Macrosporangiate and microsporangiate, you should remember. Macro micro sporongate, and also macro sporongate. This microsporongate and also macrosporongate, this will be very important. here macrosporongate. Microsporongate, macrosporongate. This one I will separately, I will write it, I will tell you. Microsporongate means what? Microsporongate, macrosporongate. The microsporongate and macrosporongate in this gymnosperms come micro and macro. Macrosporongate and microsporongate, they are the megasporongate. That is a macrosporongate, microsporongate. Okay, so this is megasporongate. The multicellular being identified where the two or more archegonia or female sex organ. Archegonia, already what we studied, archegonia is a female sex organ. Archegonia or female sex organs. Multicellular female gametophyte is also retained within the megasporangium. And also unlike bryophytes or pteridophytes, in these gymnosperms, the male and female gametophytes do not have a independent or free living existence. They remain within the sporangia, retained on the sporophytes. The sporophyte will be retained. So, okay. So here the pollen grains is released from the microsporangium. Already you know microsporangium. The pollen grains are released from the microsporangium. They are carried in air current. It will be carried in air current, or what we call it is a water current. Air current means the pollen grains through air, passes through air, is called as air current. Commonly this they are carried in air current and come to contact with the opening of ovules born megasporophiles. The pollen to carrying the male gametes grows towards archegonia in ovules and discharge their contact nearby mouth of the archegonia. Just like our self-pollination. How the self-pollination takes place with the help of photolithic. Following fertilization, zygote develops into embryo and ovules into a seeds. These seeds are not covered. Commonly, the pollen grains are through air passes and pollination takes place. The pollination produces seeds. There is no seed coat. They are commonly the characters of these gymnosperms. So here I will conclude the gymnosperms, the special character of gymnosperms. They are naked seed plant. First one. Second one, it is commonly grow in terrestrial as well as water, soil or damp places. Its capacity to grow even though wetland as well as dryland, because the plant having a well developed root, well developed stem, well developed leaf system, root, leaf as well as the stem. The leaves having the stomata, that commonly called as a thick, that is a sunken stomata. That sunken sunken stomata helps to protect water. It means loses the water. It is not. It is a reduce the water loss, and the roots are supporting for the N2 nitrogen fixation in the environment, and the gymnosperms are commonly heterosporous in nature. Here microspores and also megalospores will be there. So sporangia, sargassum, the sporophytes, macro and micro produces the new offspring, mainly the pollen grains. Under that, macrosporangiate, microsporangiate, with the combination of the development of pollen grains take place within the microsporangia. The cone-bearing megasporophylls with ovals are called as megasporangia, are called as a macrosporangiate. Macrosporangiate already listed. The female stabile, or we commonly call it as a female stabile. Female stabile are macrosporangiate. Macrosporangiate. This should be remembered. Female, or we commonly call it as a female stabile, are macrosporangiate. Microsporangiate are we commonly call it as a male. That is, the nucleus is protected by the envelope. Composite structure is called as a ovule. That is one of the character. And also the megasporangium develops a multicellular female gametophyte that bears two or more archegonia. That are archegonia or female sex organs. The archegonial female sex organs spores will be flow through water or air current. With the air current that helps to pollination, and here the male and female gamete come together form a zygote, and the new offsprings will be developed. So these commonly develop a seeds. Zygote develop a embryo, and finally it will develop a seeds without seed cover. It is commonly called as a gymnosperm. I think you know gymnosperm characters. That is a naked seed, but the fertilization is a sexual fertilization. Megalospores and microspores. That should be remembered. Next will come under angiosperms. Angiosperms. Angiosperms are commonly called as flowering plants. Flowering plants. Angiosperms are commonly called as flowering plants. Here, almost angiosperms, dicotyledons, sometimes it will be considered monocotyledons also. All fertilization take place. Here commonly some general characteristics of angiosperms. Here very simple. Angiosperms are those, they are flowering plants. Some flowering plants are dicotyledons, some flowering plants are monocotyledons, the fibrous root system. And some flowering plants up to nearby 70 meters, it will be 1 meter, 1 feet. So varieties of species and angiosperms. So eucalyptus over 100 meters long, and some small flowering plants are very small, it means 1 feet length. So here meiosis, mitosis, it means cell division take place as well as fertilization take place. So the fusion of male and female gamete, there is a develops. The seed coat and flower, then fruit, nut, seed. It is one of the angiospermic character having a separate flower, having a flowers. Here compared to gymnosperms, there is no flower and also seed will not coated. There is no oval or protected the seed. That is what commonly called as a naked seed. Character of the pteridophyte. Gymnosperms. In angiosperms, almost all ovals are naked. All flowering plants commonly pollen grains. Ovals develop a special structure called as a flowers. So here the flower called it as a pollen grains and ovals are developed. Flowering plants, the pollen grains and ovals are developed specialized structure called flowers. The pollen grains and ovals. The pollen grains, and see the flower. What the flower word in botany or the biology? The combination of pollen grains and ovals. Ovals. See, pollen grain, the combination of pollen grain and also the ovals. The ovals are female sex organs. Female sex organs. Commonly, pollen grains are male sex organs. Combination of this three pollination form a organ called as a flower. So the flower is the combination of pollen grains as well as ovals developed in a specialized structure called as a flower. In angiosperms, the seeds are enclosed in the fruits. I think you know seeds are enclosed with fruit. Inside the fruit, for example, mango. Fruits. The angiosperms are exceptionally large group of plants occurring wide range of habitats. So many range of habitats. Will go to the aquatic water, go to the terrestrial, damp soil. Wherever you can go, flowering plants will be there. They range in size from the smallest Wolfia to tall tree. Wolfia means small flowering plant to tall tree. This like a eucalyptus. Tall tree is eucalyptus. Wolfia small flowering plant. So the various size from small to Wolfia to tall tree eucalyptus near 100 meters length. They provide us with food, fodder, fuel, medicines, several other commercial imported products divided into food. See, in this angiosperms having its range of economic characters, medicinal use and also other industries, we can utilize all these things. Based on all these external characters, they will be divided into two. That is, one is monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Why this monocotyledons and dicotyledons means the flowering plants are some of the plants fibrous root system, so monocotyledon. Some of the plants are taproot system, dicotyledons. So monocotyledons and dicotyledons are in the angiosperms. And also the monocotyledons commonly the fibrous root system. They are lived in a surface soil. The taproot system, dicotyledon plants, wherever they are up to 20 feet length, the root will be going inside the soil and absorb water. The capacity to live without water, without rain, so many months together. I think already know. The parallel variation, the seeds will be present. Monocotyledons on the other hand, the characterized by single cotyledon seeds. parallel venation in leaves, and trivorous flowers having three members of each floral holes. The male sex organ flower is stamen. Male sex organ in the flower is called stamen. Should we remember the stamen? The stamen is a male sex organ. Each stamen consists of cylinder filament with another anther. It is called as a teeth. Within the anther, the fallen mother cell divided into meiosis to produce a microspores, which matures the pollen grains. That helps to produce a pollen grains with the stamen. That should be remembered. The female sex organ flower is pistil. 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 It is a female sex organ. The pistil reacts with the ovary. It is a commonly female sex organ. Here meiosis, the pistil consists of a swollen ovary. Swollen means it is a bulb shaped ovary, like ovary. That is in all the flowering plants. That bulb shape, there is a over pistil. Swollen ovary, it is a base, long cylinder style, and stigma. It is stigma, like it will be going like this. Swollen stigma. So here the base cylindrical stigma inside the ovary. Ovals are present. Generally, each oval has megaspores mother cell that undergoes meiosis from the four applied megaspore. They degenerate one divided into embryo. Each embryo have three called egg operators, one egg cell, two synergies, antipodal cell, and also two polar nuclei. The polar nuclei eventually produce the required secondary nucleus. Pollen grains after disposal from another anther are carried out by wind or various other agencies like water or whatever may be, combination of some other stigma or pistil. This is the termed pollination. The pollen grains germinate in stigma and the resulting pollen tubes grow through the tissue of stigma and styles and reach ovule. The pollen tubes enter into the flower. Gamete fuses diploid and secondary nucleus produces a triploid primary endosperm nucleus. Triploid primary endosperm nucleus. Primary endosperm nucleus. In your examination, they will ask primary endosperm nucleus. What is the meaning of this? Here, the other male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus to produce the triploid primary endosperm nucleus. That you should be remember and write. Try PEN. Primary endosperm nucleus produced with the help of the other male gamete. It means here the one of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell to form a zygote. The other male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus to produce the triploid primary endosperm nucleus. Because of this currents two fusion, syngamy and triple fusion, or we call it as, this event is termed as a double fertilization. Double fertilization. I think this double fertilization, you should remember the meaning of double fertilization. Become the two fusion of syngamy and triple fusion. This event termed as a double fertilization. It is only unique character of angiosperm. The zygote develop into embryo, two or cotyledons. The PN develops, there is a primary endosperm nucleus develops fertilization that helps to the synergids and the antipodals degenerate after fertilization. During these events, the ovules develop into the seeds and the oats develop into the fruit. The life cycle is differently. How the life cycle going on, I will explain in the next class. So now I think in angiosperm characters briefly I will explain and go to the cycle next class. Before going to that, the angiosperms are commonly flowering plants. They are lived in terrestrial, aquatic, damp soil, wherever its capacity to grow different levels of the earth. So this is the pinnately compound leaves present in the plants, flowering plants. These plants are wherever people live. Thousands of together species under the gymnosperms, angiosperms. Those thousands of together character plants will be divided into two based on the characteristics of monocotyledon and dicotyledons. The fibrous root system and also taproot system. Based on taproot system or fibrous root system, we can divide it into different. That will be small plant to the upper plant like eucalyptus, nearly 200 to 100 meters height capacity to grow, and small like a pulse, that is also flowering plant, fibrous root system. And will be mitosis, mitotic division take place, and also a sexual reproduction going on, and double fertilization occurs in the angiosperms. Especially double fertilization is one of the most important character in the angiosperms. The double fertilization is the male and female gamete produce egg, that is syngamy. Already you know that meaning. The combination of male and female gametes, zygote. The other male and female gamete diploid secondary nucleus produces the triploid primary endosperm nucleus. So you see the thing is common reproduction is development of male and female gamete combined together make a zygote. Again, it will be the combination of male and female gametes in this especially angiosperm, that one male gamete fuses with the egg is called syngamy, the form of a zygote. The other male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus. Here it is a most important diploid secondary nucleus. Andre diploid secondary nucleus ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪೋಲಾರ್ ಬೇನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಪಿ ಅಂತ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಈ ತರ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಡಬಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಡಬಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಈಗ ಏಂಜಿಯೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ಹೂವು ಬಿಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು. ಈ ಹೂವು ಬಿಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ಎರಡು ಭಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ರೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಫೈಬ್ರಸ್ ರೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್, ಮೈಟಾಟಿಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ಸ್, ಆಂಥರಿಡಿಯಾ, ಆಂಥ್ರೋಜೋನ್ಸ್, ಪೋಲನ್ಸ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಏರಿಂದ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ವಾಟರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ಟೆಯಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಕೈಯಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದನೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಝೈಗೋಟು ಎಗ್, ಒಂದು ಪಾಲನ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ ಎಗ್, ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟು ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟು ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್, ಅದರಿಂದ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಟು ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಅನ್ನು, ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಎರಡು 2n ನಂಬರ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೈನು, ಇದನ್ನೇ ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು. The other male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus. Already diploid secondary nucleus is 2n number. Diploid secondary nucleus ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು male gamete ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಆದಾಗ pn ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ. E ಅಂದ್ರೆ what is the pn? ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್. ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ gamete, ಎಂಡೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಬಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್, that is a primary endosperm nucleus ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ಸಾರಿ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಬಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. this one PN and double fertilization. Double fertilization. In double fertilization, whenever your theory examination as well as your competitive examination, they will ask the double fertilization. What is the meaning of double fertilization? DOUP, double fertilization. This is occurs in only the angiosperm. Okay, well children, what are the things I will explain? All these things comes under the angiosperms. And most important thing, the life cycle of angiosperms I will take next class. Now, today, what I completed the explanation, the characteristics of angiosperms and the characteristics of gymnosperms and also the characteristics of pteridophytes. Pteridophytes ಬೀಜ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು, ಇದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಆರ್ನಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ರೊಟ್ಟು ತರ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅರ್ತ್ ಬೈಂಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಇದನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಹೂವು ಬಿಡದೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ನೇಕೆಡ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ತಲಾಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೆಲ್ವಾಲ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಓರಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಕ್ಷುಯಲ್ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಗಿಡ ಮತ್ತು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮರಗಳಾಗುವ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಗಾಸ್ಪೊರಾಂಜಿಯಮ್, ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೊರಾಂಜಿಯಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಏಂಜಿಯೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬಿಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ, ಹೂವು ಬಿಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಇವು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಗಿಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗಿಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಡೈಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನ್, ಮಾನೋಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ರೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಫೈಬ್ರಸ್ ರೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಡೈಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫೈಬ್ರಸ್ ರೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಮಾನೋಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾನೋಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫೈಬ್ರಸ್ ರೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಡೈಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ರೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ರೂಟ್ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ಡೈಕಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಏಂಜಿಯೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಡಬಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಡಬಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ಈ ಮೂರು ಏಂಜಿಯೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಟಿರಿಡೋಫೈಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿ